Hey y'all, it's your girl TNT and I'm back with another video. So this is some questions I get almost every day, and today I'm gonna talk about how I get my curls to stay and be so defined. So as you can see, you know, I got the curls popping, so you know what I'm saying. It works for me, at least. I'm not just gonna give y'all any random facts, any random tips. So I'm here to give y'all 5 easy and simple steps on how to keep your curls defined. So let's get right into it. Okay, so step number 1 is to detangle your hair. So I know us with curly, kinky, and like afro texture type hair, it's so easy for our hair to get detangled if we don't comb it or detangle it. So my whole thing is, if you want to see your curls, your hair needs to be detangled. When your hair is detangled, your curls are showing, and yeah. So my suggestion, the way I keep my hair detangled, is I use a Denman brush. Here, insert image. This is what a Denman brush looks like. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and forms. You want to make sure when you're detangling your hair, you use a Denman brush or a brush similar to a Denman brush. You don't want to use anything too wide or anything too thin, or else your curls aren't gonna be defined in the natural state that they should. So you want to make sure the brush or the tools that you're using to actually comb through and brush your hair and detangle it is the right tools as well. So that can be the issue you have. If you're detangling your hair, you can be detangling it with the wrong thing. Now, my thing is, in order to detangle your hair, the one step that cannot fail you is finger detangling. So basically what finger detangling is taking small sections of your hair and just pulling it through. I'm not gonna do it now because I don't want to mess up my curls, but basically just pulling it through and detangling your hair until it's in its right curl state. So basically detangle, okay? Detangle your hair and your curls will get defined. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just make sure your hair is detangled. In between styles as well, you want to detangle your hair. Whenever you're going for a fresh look with new, freshly defined curls that look like that, you want to make sure whatever you do before you go for that look, you detangle your whole head or the portion of your hair that you want your curls to be defined. Step number 2 is to moisturize. So a lot of us, we know this, we have to keep our hair moisturized, but this ties into having defined curls. Defined curls means your hair is moisturized and healthy. So in order to keep your hair moisturized, you want to use any type of products like leave-in conditioners, oils. So I personally like to use a lot of different types of leave-in conditioners. You will want to, the key to moisturizing your hair also is to finding what brand and what products work best for you. So for example, my go-to, I love Cantu, right? Cantu has not failed me. I like Shea Moisture. However, Shea Moisture doesn't work well in my hair. It doesn't keep it moisturized the way I would like it to. So like I said, find different products, find what works for y'all. If y'all want another video on the products that I use specifically in my hair, let me know in the comments, but find those products that work best for you. So when you're moisturizing your hair, you want to make sure all of it's being moisturized. I like to do specifically to focus on the ends of my hair because that's the part where you want your curls to be most defined. So you want to make sure that you're applying a lot of moisture to your hair. Now, another step that's under moisturizing is when you're doing certain styles like braid outs or twist outs, when you take it down, you also want to moisturize it again. Meaning, take some oil, and when you're taking your hair down, that oil is coming off of your hands into your hair. When you're doing stuff like that with dry hands, you're taking all of the moisture from your hair and it's going into your hands. So you want to make sure you put a lot of moisture in your hands and detangle your hair so that your hair can actually be getting more moisture and staying moisturized. So leave-in conditioner, oils, any type of product that will keep your hair moisturized and shiny and fresh and smelling good, you want to use that. It helps define your curls. So the third step, don't do too much. Simple. That's the third step. Do not do too much. So when I say don't do too much, if your goal is to have defined curls, do not straighten your hair too much, because your curls will not be defined because they're damaged. If you want to have defined curls, do not dye your hair too much. It is possible for you to dye your hair and your hair to stay completely healthy, curly, and defined. So for example, I have dye in my hair. I ended up bleaching, well, I didn't. I went to a professional. That's another thing. If you want to color your hair, I would say either make sure you know what you're doing, have a friend that knows what they're doing, or go to a professional, because stuff like that can easily damage your hair, and that's why your curls aren't staying defined the way you want to. But it's completely possible for you to have defined curls with colored hair. You just want to make sure you go back to step 2 and keep it extra moisturized, because color and straightening your hair and doing all of that type of stuff dries it out. So don't do too much. If you're trying to have defined curls, don't always be manipulating your hair or touching your hair all the time. Like for example, now that this is a twist out, right? So now that I have my curls defined looking the way it wants, I'm not gonna keep touching it. I'm not gonna keep running my hands through it and messing it up, because like I said, every time you touch your hair and you don't have moisture in your hands, with dry hands, you're taking moisture out of your hair. So the more you touch it, the more you're causing your hair to dry, and that's gonna basically cause your curls not to look like they are defined. Your curls are gonna get frizzy. So simple, don't do too much. And number 4 is when you're getting ready to go to bed, if you're getting ready to lay down, if you know you're going on a road trip, anytime you know you're gonna be laying on your head, anything like that, you want to put a bonnet on or wrap your hair up. I know this is hard for some of us who like to take a million naps during the day and we forget. Baby girl or baby boy, just try. Before you lay your head down, make sure you put a bonnet on. Or you can be like me, if you have a certain style that a bonnet's not gonna work with. I like to do is just take a silk scarf and put it over my pillow. Or you can have a silk pillow, that works too. But you wanna make sure you're wrapping your hair, putting a bonnet on, or putting some type of silk on, or covering your hair in a way that it's not getting frizzy. Don't let your hair just rub up against textures or material like cotton pillows or cotton sheets. You don't want your hair to just rub up against it, because it's gonna be frizzy. So if you're trying to keep that curl definition for like a week, I can keep my curls defined for up to a week or maybe more if I'm making sure I'm putting my bonnet on all the time, or I'm putting some type of silk cover up on, or laying on my silk pillow whenever I rest my head, because that's that number one way to ruin a good hairstyle, is not to wrap it up before you go to bed. So you want to make sure you're wrapping your curls to keep them and preserve them before you go to bed, or before you ever lay your head down. You want to make sure you're doing that. And number 5, the last step, is to basically train your hair. So I have heard this my whole life: you have to train your hair to do this. Like, you have to train your hair to wrap, you have to train your hair to curl, all this. It's true, your hair likes a pattern. So when I say to train your hair, I mean to find a pattern that works for you and your hair. So for example, me, I love doing twist outs. That's my go-to. So my hair is trained to work out the way I want it to work in twist outs. So train your hair to stay detangled by detangling it as often as you need to. Or train your hair, train yourself to wrap your hair before you go to bed. Train yourself to practice putting moisture on your hands before you put it in your hair to style it. So train your hair, find a pattern, find what works for you and stick to that pattern, and your hair, you will see it gets easier and easier for your curls to stay defined. So I hope that helped. I hope you learned something new from this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know what you want to see more of. Thank you for y'all's support. I truly love you all. And please, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Check me out. Check out my other videos. Let me know what you want to see more of. It's been TNT, signing off. Random facts, any random tips. I'm going to give you 5 steps on how to keep your curls defined, how to define your girl. Give me 1 second.